Woohoo! All right, getting a
Hey,
good group
hey.
in here. Physics unite.
Physics on a Friday.
Maybe
Physics
we'll
on
do
a
like a
Friday.
joint like physics 1, physics 2, the physics C's. We'll just
Yes.
like, throw pumpkins off of stuff together.
Oh, yes.
How do you do that virtually?
We'll figure it out.
One person do it,
There's
everyone else
so
watch.
many physics courses.
I know, right?
It's kind of wild.
For real. Anyways, if you're just tuning in, maybe you can put in the chat where you're coming from so we have a little sense of where we're streaming to. If you're watching this on a replay, you can post in the community channels where you're coming from. But yeah, so we have a couple people from around. We'll kind of kick things off with just a little intro on me and on Fiveable, and then we'll get into what Physics 2 will look like. So my name is Amanda. I'm the founder of Fiveable. I used to be a teacher. I taught AP World and AP Human Geography for 5 years. So I'm not quite the STEM person, but humanities, I'm like pro STEM though. Like I love me some science. I just didn't, honestly, I think it's more that I didn't have a really good science teacher in high school to like really make me believe that I could do it. Right. So then now it's still in my head that like I'm not a science person, but that's all just made up anyways. So really all we want to do at Fiveable is make sure that that doesn't happen to you. Right? Like we want to make sure that like every student has this feeling of like, I can totally do whatever I want to do. I just have to pick what I want to do. I have to pick what I like the most, and I can take on different challenges, and I can have teachers that support me and other students that will support me through it. And I know where to get the resources, and I can be creative, and I can be curious, and I don't have to worry about, I don't have to worry about like failing. It's not about that. It's about just like taking chances, taking risks, and feeling supported through that. And so that's really what Fiveable is about. And so we have a lot of content through study guides and videos and trivia, and great memes on our Instagram channel. And then we do a lot of community building too. So a lot of ways for students to get to know each other and to get to know us, and for teachers to get to know each other. And then this year is the first year we're doing courses. And so courses are really about giving students access to APs that are not offered at their school, or that maybe they don't feel supported in with the course that they're taking. And so it feels like such a loophole that not enough students take advantage of, that like you can actually take any exam without taking the class. So we want to make sure that that is an opportunity available to everyone. And so anyway, so we're super excited about Physics 2 this year. I'm around in the Slack channel if you should need anything. And if you haven't signed up yet for a course, you can use the code OH10 and get $10 off of either this one or any other course, or give it to a friend as a Labor Day gift. We should really start doing gifts on some of these like smaller holidays, like
Yeah.
it's a long time before the like gifts holidays.
Yeah. The fall is like a dry spell for gifts.
Well, that's where I'm at, like let's just do Labor Day gifts. And like Memorial Day, like need the two.
Yeah.
So I'm going to kick it over to Kate, who will introduce herself and a little bit more about courses. And if you ever need me for anything, I will be around. I'm in the Slack channel. My DMs are open. You're welcome to hit me up for anything you need.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. I'm Kate Levin. I'm what am I saying? I'm head of instruction at Fiveable. It has been a long week, and I'm super excited to have all of you here for the Physics 2 open house, because Physics 2 is a course that I'm personally very interested in learning more about, because I didn't have this course in high school. I didn't have this option, and I think that's true for a lot of folks. So I'm super pumped that you found us and that you're going to learn more about Physics 2. If you ever have questions about courses or about Fiveable or how to get involved or how to join us, you can just email me. My email is kate@fiveable.me. And I'm going to share that code again at the end of the stream in case anybody needs it. And without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to our awesome master teacher.
All right. Thanks, Kate. And yeah, welcome everyone. Thanks for spending your Friday with us. Physics Friday. I love it. My name's Elisa, and I will introduce you to Fiveable's AP Physics 2 course. So hopefully that works. All right, so yeah, a bit about me first. So I am the AP Physics 2 teacher for Fiveable. I recently moved to the Bay Area, all the way from Boston this past summer. So that's a picture of my husband and I before we started our road trip across the country back in good old Boston. I missed Charles River. But yeah, and I also love astronomy. That's my background, really. I studied physics and astronomy in college and in graduate school. I love playing the drums since middle school. That's the best way to release stress. Like I mentioned, I love traveling. And finally, I love ramen, like not like just the instant noodle kind, but the real one. I grew up in Tokyo, so I'm a bit of a ramen connoisseur. For my classroom experience, I've taught for 5 years, grades 8 through 12. And the main classes I've taught were AP Physics 1, AP Physics 2, and Project Lead the Way, PLTW, Introduction to Engineering Design. But I've taught all sorts of physics courses over different levels, and I've also developed honors physics curriculum for 2 schools that I worked at. And for remote learning, so well, at the beginning of March, right, my school transitioned to a fully remote learning model because of the COVID pandemic. But actually before that, I was already doing some stuff with remote learning. So I flipped the classroom for my AP Physics 1 class. And what this means is basically my students took notes at home using the videos that I made for them. And then in the classroom, we did labs, group problem solving, and activities and stuff. So that's what it means to flip the classroom. I also made a bunch of CAD, so computer aided design video tutorials for my engineering class as well. So let's talk more about this course, AP Physics 2. So yes, we are covering all units, so all 7 units in AP Physics 2 over 15 weeks. So yes, it is pretty fast paced, so it's more meant to support your self-studying rather than a substitute for a classroom experience. What you get though is a positive and supportive community with your peers, TAs, and the TAs are students who already took the AP Physics 2 exam and aced it, right? So an awesome, group of people to know, and your instructors as well. Of course, you get a bunch of resources for each unit, and I'll explain more about that. So for each week, what can you expect? Well, there'll be a weekly 1-hour live session from me, and that'll give you the overview of the topics that we will be looking at through the week. You'll get some unique FRQ type assessments, so great practice of the FRQ questions. And the best part is we have an AP reader for each Fiveable AP course. So an AP reader is basically a teacher who grades the AP exams for the College Board. So you would actually get feedback from, actual people who grade the exam for the College Board. So you'll get a better idea of what you need to put into your answers for FRQ type questions, which is pretty awesome. Of course, you'll get a ton of resources, study guides, videos from Fiveable, and other sources that the AP Physics 2 team searched for over the summer. You get to have office hours with our cool TAs, and this can be asking questions about Physics 2, or even maybe just advice on like studying strategies for AP exam, or, studying strategies for remote learning, because it's all kind of new for us, right? So stuff like that. And of course, you have this awesome community of other people who are also planning on taking an exam. And I think that's really powerful to get to know people who are in the same boat as you, because you're not the only one. This is a snapshot of a sample week. So you can see for each day, there's a bunch of topics that are covered. The events activities row shows you what to expect. So I mentioned the live stream, office hours, and FRQ. There's also discussion posts as well. And they vary a lot, but for example, here you can see by using an online lab simulation on fluid pressure, there would be some discussion questions based on that. The bottom 2 rows are all your resources. The outside resources, I think, is actually pretty powerful because like the internet's out there for all of us, but when you search for something, you can get all sorts of crazy results, right? Like maybe I'm going to search about density, but maybe I get a resource that's density for middle school science or graduate level fluid mechanics. Like, what do I need? I want the ones for AP Physics 2. So lucky for you, Fiveable, went through the internet world and found these resources that are applicable to AP Physics 2. So I actually think this is awesome that you don't have to lose yourself in the internet and you have all the resources right there. And then the bottom row is the study guides that Fiveable produces, and they're really good too. They're to the point, and it's all the main key points that you need to know. Okay, so some advice, especially for remote learning. I really think time management is crucial. I'm sure you've heard this a lot, but try to make a schedule, try to keep, you know, yourself accountable to the schedule, due dates. And I think really mental health right now needs to be emphasized because we're all in this crazy situation in the world. I mean, I'm not going to lie about it, right? It's crazy. So definitely have some time to relax, get away from studying, talk with your friends, go outside in a safe manner, of course, and read a book, right? But I really think try to take some breaks for yourself. I'm a huge believer in having a physical study space that's different from where I relax. And like, for example, right now I'm on a desk in the corner of my bedroom. But when I'm on this desk, I know it's business time. It's time to work, right? But if I want to relax, I can go away. So having that sort of physical barrier between a study space and a relaxing space, or like a whatever space, it actually helps you mentally as well. So I'm a really, really big believer in that. AP courses in general, they're all challenging, right? In person or remote. So definitely enjoy it. I know that you guys are here looking for this challenge. So you guys should be very proud of yourself, but keep track of your accomplishments. Be super proud of that. The resources that we provide for you, definitely use it to your advantage. And if you've taken AP exams before, you know these exams don't ask for like memorization type of questions, or like AP Physics 2 won't be like, you know, here's an equation, here are some numbers, and solve it. Like it's not that easy. They're really going to test for your deep understanding. So definitely go for the deep learning over sort of surface level skimming. Then finally, you know, you have a learning community. If you join us in Fiveable, like I said, you'll get a really awesome learning community, but also don't forget about your teachers, your family members, friends, right? Never be afraid to ask questions and lean on them for your support. Okay, so let me talk a bit more about AP Physics 2 and why it's worth it. So as we mentioned earlier, AP Physics 2 isn't offered as much in schools, which is such a shame because AP Physics 1 covers mechanics, right? Forces, energy, if you push a car, what happens to it, like stuff like that. And they're still really cool, but you're missing out on so much of physics that's about electricity and magnetism. And that's a huge part of physics as well. In fact, it's your second semester of an introductory physics course. So if you only took Physics 1, that means you've only learned or gotten credit for just one semester. So especially if you are looking to be like a pre-med student, future life science majors, even non-science majors in colleges, often you have some sort of science requirement that you have to take. If you only did Physics 1, then most likely you haven't fulfilled it. So taking AP Physics 2 as well is pretty crucial, right? So definitely recommend in terms of that. If you are interested in studying physics and engineering in college, I also think it's just so important that you can't just jump into college without having taken electricity and magnetism. You missed out on a huge part of physics. Physics 2 is also cool. It goes through fluids. So, and that's crucial for engineering. That definitely has a college course on fluid mechanics that you do have to take. We also cover optics in AP Physics 2, all about like how light works, lenses, mirrors, and also a bit of quantum physics, which is pretty cool. And then, you know, you get to show off that you took some quantum physics in high school. So why wouldn't you want to do that? But yeah, just seriously, as someone who actually majored in physics in college, if I didn't take anything like Physics 2 in high school, I know I would have had a really hard time in my second semester introductory physics class. So definitely recommend it. Otherwise, also just kind of generally, like I really think this community you get with Fiveable is so supportive of your learning. And right now we're in this world where we kind of need to support each other. So that's something that you really want to go for. Again, with remote learning, a challenge is, getting some structure in our learning, and Fiveable will provide that for you. And of course, resources, right? Like, who doesn't want all those resources? And well, I'm a bit late to the game, but I watched The Last Dance recently on Netflix, which is a documentary of Michael Jordan, who I am not a huge basketball fan. So for me, he was just the guy from Space Jam when I was a kid. I love that movie. But what was so inspirational about him from the documentary was his commitment to excel, right? He put in so much effort to just get better and better and better. And the fact that you are interested in, taking these AP courses through Fiveable already shows that first step of commitment to your education. You should be super proud of yourself. So I'm here to just push you a bit further. And I really recommend you to take these AP courses on Fiveable, push yourself further and commit to your education because you're almost there. So yeah, hopefully that was informational, but we are here for any questions you have about the course, Fiveable AP courses. So now is the time.
Yeah, I have one for you. So
Yeah.
A lot of students wonder how long a course like this is going to take them, like how many hours per week. And I think because a lot of people don't have this course at their school,
right,
it's even more of a question because they're so unfamiliar with the material or what this course covers. Could you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, so when I showed actually, let me see if I can go back to the week snapshot. I think that was helpful. The live stream I should mention is about an hour per week. And I think that would be useful to spend your time on to definitely get, because I would cover all these topics throughout the week in that live stream. But to succeed in an exam, you're going to have to put in a bit more than an hour. You will definitely want to do those discussion posts and FRQs just to get a sense of what kind of questions are on the exam, what type of way will they ask you. So, and then those will be covered through those additional materials. So definitely, I would say about 3+ weeks. And it's all up to you, right? It's really up to how much you want to put it in the end. The beautiful thing about Fiveable is that we're not forcing you to do anything. Like, we trust that the best way that you learn, the best, like how much time you want to put in. And we're here to support that. And if you feel like maybe I'm not really getting it, or maybe I'm going too slow, then you can adjust it yourself. And we're here to help you, the TAs, myself, we're here to help you with the questions and help you kind of structure it more.
Awesome. Another question that I have is about resources. So you mentioned that it's hard to find Physics 2 resources. And a lot of times if you Google stuff, you're just going to get something that is not what you're looking for Physics 2. Do you have any recommendations for resources for students to either find online or prep books that they should get or anything like that?
Yeah, one of the websites that I kind of like is called physicsclassroom.com. It is really concise and it covers, I think, all the topics of Physics 1 and Physics 2. So that's a nice resource online that I recommend. Prep book wise, I know there's like I forgot the book was called, but there's a book that's something about getting a 5 for AP Physics 1. I'm not sure if they have one for AP Physics 2. And I should look into that more. But other than that, yeah, Physics Classroom, those PhET simulations online as well, just to sort of visualize some of the things for electricity and magnetism, because those things you can't see directly. Even just to visualize is helpful as well, just to play around. So that's what I recommend.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, I don't see any other questions in the chat, so I'm just going to remind everyone that you can still sign up for courses at courses.fiveable.me. And if you use the code O10, you can get $10 off as many courses as you want. And if you have any questions about any of this stuff, you can email me, which I'm putting in the chat for you. And thank you so much, everyone, for taking time on a Friday to be here. And I hope you all have a great long weekend.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.